Okay, let me share my screen with you. I hope you people are there in the file which I have shared with you. Let me begin the session now. Today we are going to explore the statistics related function of the Excel and some of the regression and correlation analysis which you generally do in your research and in some other aspects too. It's very important one. Excel can give you very quick answers for those regression and correlation. I'll try to explain some of the fundamentals too, but it would be more sort of a application rather than the conceptual understanding, because I cannot explain you the regression and correlation in detail right now. I'm assuming that you might have gone through with that in the RM. So I would be taking just the application part of it. But definitely I'll tell you the interpretation of it. I'll definitely clear all the things which I am aware about right now, which is important to be shared as well. So first we have is some random players are taken and their statistics are there with us. So here we would be finding the descriptive statistics first of all. We'll try to interpret that as well. How can we do it? That is the first problem we have. Now you must have the data analysis tool pack in your data tab. I'm using the magnifier so that you get in a better way. Here in the data tab, you must have the data analysis tool pack over there in the section of analyze. Now many of the students might not have it, but you can add the data analysis tool pack and it is available right since 2007 version. So you're not supposed to worry for that. Do not worry. You can go to the file over here. Then from there, every one of you, those who do not find the data analysis function there, please do it along with me here. In the first tab, which is the file tab here, you would go to the options from here. That is the last one on left hand side. The last one is the options available to you. Click on that, please. And once you click on the options, you have such kind of a dialog box which gets appeared. Now what you are doing over there is you will have to go to the add-ins from here. On left hand side, you must be able to see the option of add-ins. So these are the various tasks and some of the parts of Excel which you will have to add differently, separately. So I'm going to the add-ins, and then in manage add-ins, you have the option of go over here. Check it out. In manage add-ins, you must have the option of go. Click on that. And please tick mark on all the things you have over here, right? One is analysis tool pack, then there is VBA tool pack, then there is currency tool, and then there is a solver add-in. Click on all this and press OK. Once you do that, the data analysis tool pack must have been inserted there. You may check it, please. It's there in the analyze section of the data tab. And once you all are able to find it, again give me a confirmation by unmuting yourself or by giving the confirmation through the chat box, please, so that I can move ahead. Once it is added, then we can move further. Is everyone able to find the data analysis tool pack now? All I require your confirmation, all of you. If you are able to find it, give me a confirmation, because I cannot assume from here, that whether you have it or not. Please, everyone, you will have to keep interacting so that I can come to know. From Vedangi, I have received. Others, I'm waiting for the confirmation, please. Everyone, please do it. There is no meaning of staring on the screen. If you are unable to find it, let me know through the chat box. If you are stuck anywhere, please let me know. Either there should be a, yes, it's there in the 2007 version as well. That's fine. You can go to the home tab, sorry, file, and from there you may go to the options. This is the option, and in option you would go to add-in, and in add-in you will go to this, go from here, and you will have to select all the options which are available to you there, right? Please tick on that and press OK. So you have the data analysis tool pack inserted in the data tab. Okay, others, I'm waiting for your confirmation. Please check it. Only Vedangi has given a nod. Others? Others, I'm waiting for your reply. Everyone. Are we ready? What about Siddhi, Jigar, Sankit, Maitri, Archit, Mitesh, Parth, Vishal, Dhruv? If you are unable to find that, then please let me know. Ayushi has only said that she is unable to find it. Ayushi, could you manage it now? मैनेज हो गया बेटा? वहां पे देखो एक बार, अभी भी नहीं मिला? ओके, आई थिंक देयर वुड बी सम अदर kind of a outlook there. You may check it please. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा दिखता अलग होगा आपके 2007 वर्जन में। एक्सेल ऑप्शंस कहीं से तो आ जाना चाहिए, ऊपर या फिर नीचे कहीं पे क्लिक करो, फाइल्स में जाओ, फाइल का अगर टैब ही नहीं है तो कहीं और जगह पे कुछ होगा, वहां पे ऑप्शंस करके कुछ होगा, देखो। एक्सेल ऑप्शंस करके कुछ है? कुछ नहीं है? फाइन, इट्स ओके, यू जस्ट एक काम करना, इसके बाद वाले सेशन में भी अगर नहीं, लेकिन उसके बाद में भी आपका सेशन होगा, राइट? ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, आप है ना एक काम करिए, अभी देखिए कैसा हो रहा है, फिर मैं आपको सॉर्ट आउट कर देता हूँ क्वेरी आपकी, ठीक है? आपके लैपटॉप में शायद तो होना है 2007 में, एज फार एज आई नो देयर इज एन ऑप्शन ऑफ डू टूल पैक एनालिसिस, बट इफ इट इज नॉट देयर देन we'll do something. Fine, for a moment you may concentrate over here in the screen. Every one of us should be able to see that there are certain scores written over there, and we want to find the descriptive statistics. That means right from the mean to the average to the maximum to the minimum, and all such sort of a thing must be given by the Excel within a click. We do not want to do it again and again. I mean, we do not want to find first the standard deviation and then we'll be moving to the formula of average and then we'll be moving to the formula of maximum and then minimum and all such sort of things. Rather than that, the way you have is, all of you can go to the data tab, and in data tab everyone should be able to see the data analysis tool pack, where various techniques right from the basics to the intermediate to the advanced level statistical techniques are given to you. Some of the techniques are related to the hypothesis testing, right? So we are going to see that one by one. Now let's first go to the descriptive statistics, which is the very basic and simple one to understand. Now click on that, press OK, and you will have to select all the items which are given over there. First will be the input range, right? Now input range is going to be the data for which you want the statistics. So I'm clicking over here. Please click on this, and the first line you have is the number of runs, and the second line is for the number of balls, and these are the various innings of one particular player. So various one-day runs are taken per inning for one player. I guess you'll be able to know once you have the descriptive statistics of it. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting the range, and you people are aware about how to select the range, right? Control Shift down arrow so that the active range of the data gets selected. Control Shift down arrow, right? Pressing enter. So once the input range is selected, then it is grouped by columns. Obviously, yes, it's not the horizontal data, it's the vertical data we have. Then it asks us that where do you want your results? Now there are two options. I may have the results over here in this file only. So if it is there in this file, then I'll have to tell the exact range where I want the results, right? So if I click output range over here, then I'll have to tell the range of the output too. So click over here and you will go downside and say I want to give the output result over here. So I'm clicking that cell, which is A240, then pressing enter. And here I'll be ticking on all the options which are available to me. Let's click on all the options. We will see, we'll try to interpret as many things which are applicable to us. So once you click on that, then you press OK, and you must have the descriptive statistics mentioned over there. Check it out. So that means the average, which is the mean you have got, is 49. What is the range we have taken? I need to check it again. I guess you might have got some others. Let me check it first again. अपने काम किया है वो सही किया है कि नहीं, वो भी तो देखना पड़ेगा ना बेटा. चलो देख लेते हैं. मैं फिर से करता हूँ तो आपको मालूम भी पड़ जाएगा साथ साथ में कैसे करना था. Those who are lagging behind, you may check it again. Descriptive statistics, press OK, and range of the data, and let me select the range of the data over there, the first one. So right from the first to the last one, I need to select all this, right? So Control Shift down arrow, pressing enter, and then clicking on the remaining options which are available to you. Output options may either you can have the output over here in this worksheet, or you may have the output in a different worksheet. It will automatically create a different worksheet for you if you click on this where the output would be mentioned. But if I keep it as it is, then press OK, then it will ask me that your output range will override the existing data. I would say OK. Okay, so the statistics are coming the same. Now mean is the average. Everyone is able to know it. Standard error is something which can be interpreted like, if you want to compare the mean of your sample with the total population you have, then by what margin the mean would vary. So if you try to apply this finding somewhere in your population, the entire population, in this case, say if I have taken just the data of 8 to 10 years, then if I want to apply it, assuming that the same distribution would be followed by the other data too, then my mean would vary somewhere by 2.7 or 2.8 or something. So 49 से ऊपर भी 2.7 जा सकता है, 49 से नीचे भी जा सकता है. You must have observed in the opinion polls of elections, you would see some standard error written over there, right? That if they are making the opinion that, say for example, Lok Sabha election mein if BJP will get 280 seats and Congress gets say 120 seats, then some standard error is also mentioned that this seats may go up or down by 5, or this may go up, down, or by 5, or whatever it would be. Someone's mic is mute, unmute. That's fine. I mean, you can unmute yourself if you have the queries. Do not worry. Okay, then you have the median. Now the interpretation of the median is that 50% of the values you have taken are above 37 and 50% of the values are below 37. So this is how the median would be. 50% above 37 50% below 37. Then you have the standard deviation, which is the measurement of volatility, that how your data is volatile. What is the average deviation from the average? What is the average deviation from the average is called the standard deviation. आपकी जो average है वहां से वो कितना ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है. ज्यादा standard deviation is a sign of high volatility, and lower standard deviation is a sign of less volatility. Right? Are you all getting the same results? First of all, may we have a confirmation on this, please? Yes or no? Any one of you? How many of you are getting the same results as mine? Or it's coming a little bit different? Let me know if it is. Okay. Then many other things are also mentioned over there, right from minimum to maximum. It has done the summation as well. The largest value has been taken, the smallest value has been taken. The difference between the largest and smallest is nothing but the range you have. Here as well you have the range. You may check it again. Count is given to you. There are 238 counts. Now I was in the median, right? So when I say median, that means it's the 50% of the total distributions. I am talking about the quantity right now, not the amount. So 50% of the quantity, 50% of the observations will be below the 37, and 50% of the observations will be above 37. So here in this case, we have taken the statistics of Mr. Virat Kohli. If I'm not wrong, his average is around 59, if I'm not wrong. Why it is coming 49? That's why I'm little bit confused. Either हमने डेटा में कुछ ये किया है या तो फिर लेट मी चेक इट अगेन. जहां तक मुझे मालूम है विराट कोहली का एवरेज is coming around 60 in the 1 days, not 49. Let me do it. इंटरप्रिटेशन तो अपने को मालूम ही है कैसे करना है, फिर भी बता देता हूँ एक एक चीजों का. डेटा के अंदर डेटा एनालिसिस, डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स, and selecting the range of the data. Let me select it right from the first to the last one. And up to this point we would be selecting it up to 238. Okay, then output range we want would be clicking over here, and again I want the output range to be there. You may select this entire table, or you may just select the cell. That's also perfectly fine. Selecting all this and pressing OK. Oh, it again shows me 49 ka average only. So I think I might have missed some of the years of data. That's fine, perfectly. Chalo, okay. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, skewness and kurtosis is something which is related to the normal distribution of the data. You do not have it right now, so let's do not go into that. But you can see that median is given to you. Mode is the value where there is a maximum number of entries coming. So 0 is the number where maximum number of time this particular player is scoring. 0 is the number which is repeated maximum number of times. So that is the mode. So I hope you have got the interpretation of mean, median, and mode. You people are aware about it, that too. Standard error is the deviation which you may find in the mean if you try to extrapolate this results to the entire population. That means इससे ऊपर या नीचे आपका mean हो सकता है, right? If you want to make the conclusions for the entire population based on the sample you have taken. Then you have the standard deviation. Standard deviation is 43. Now, lesser the standard deviation, more is the stability. That means that particular player is very stable when the standard deviation is less. Here in this case, it is 43. Now, what is the parameter of measuring what is less and what is more? Obviously, there is no such parameter. It needs to be compared with others, right? Then you can come to know that whether and whose standard deviation is coming high or whose is low. Okay, so let's move to the second one now. You would be finding it for the second too. I hope you people are aware about it now. Descriptive statistics. Within a click, you have the various types of descriptive statistics right in the Excel. Let me go to the data tab again. Every one of us would be doing it along with me. I'm going to the data analysis toolpack. From there, again selecting the option of descriptive statistics, pressing OK. Then here I require the input range. Obviously, I need to change the input range now because now we want to take it for other player. And the first column of another player is the runs column, right? So I'm taking it that now. So selecting it right from the first to the last one. And you people are aware that how to select it from the first to the last. Control Shift down arrow to select the active range of the data. Then obviously it is grouped by the columns only. Now where I need the output, I would again click over here and say I need the output over here next to this. So I'm selecting this cell so that I'll be able to compare it, both. That's why. Pressing enter. Once the output range is selected, then selecting all other options which are available to you. Even if you do not select, that's fine. Pressing OK. And you have the descriptive statistics of player number 2 too. And the descriptive statistics of player number 2 is coming at the average of 42. And the standard deviation is 47. That means now this was the data of Virat Kohli and this was the data of Rohit Sharma. Now there would be some of the years which would be missed here. That's perfectly fine. Okay. But you may see that here average and standard deviation. Average is less and standard deviation is more. That means this fellow is much, much more volatile when it comes to scoring the runs. And volatility is the measurement of risk. I mean, if you have such kind of a chart, then it looks better. But if you have this kind of a chart, that means आप कभी जमीन पे होगे कभी आसमान पे होगे. तो ऐसे जमीन पे और आसमान पे रहने वाले हैं ना, वो थोड़े से volatile stock होते हैं. That is been calculated by the standard deviation. Manually, you have the formula like this. You calculate, summation of x minus x bar square divided by n if you are finding it for the population. But if you are finding it for the sample, then you do it n minus 1, right? So I guess it would have taken it for the sample. That's why. So this is how manually you apply it, but Excel has the answers for everything, quickly. You are not supposed to do it again and again. I hope there is no need to repeat the interpretation of it again. If it is there, please let me know. Mean stands for the average. You people are aware about it. Standard deviation is the average which can move from here to there. Then it comes the median. Median is that 50% of the scores in all the observations I have made. No, 50% of the scores are below 21 and 50% of the scores are above 21. Okay. Then it is a mode. Again, the mode is 0. That means this is the particular amount. This is the particular run at which the entries are repeated most number of times. और इस वाले केस में स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन तो ज्यादा है. आई मीन मीन कम, आपका एवरेज कम और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ज्यादा. पहले वाले केस में एवरेज ज्यादा, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन कम. मतलब कि वो ऑन एन एवरेज बेसिस पे स्कोर भी ज्यादा कर रहा है और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन भी कम है. That is a sign of a very, very good, strong stability. Now I'm not going into the comparison of these two players. That's not our subject to do. But this is what the statistics tells us. Kurtosis skewness is related to distribution of the data. I'm not very sure that whether the distribution of the data is covered in the research methodology or not. That's why I'm not going into that. In case if you feel that I should go into that, I can. Any one of you? I think for a time you should ignore this because you also require, the skewness of the data, what is the kurtosis of the data, how the data is being distributed, whether there is a normal distribution of the data followed or not, and all such sort of things might be covered in the RM or not. I'm not very much aware about it. That's why. Okay, till now has everyone got it? Has everyone able to find the descriptive statistics? A confirmation through the chat box, please, everyone. And now the very important aspect, correlation and the regression. We will go into that now. Gonna be very, very easy for you. Okay, Mr. Parth is there with me. Mr. Ayush too. Miss Ria too. Others, I'm waiting for your replies. Is everyone there with me till now? Okay. Now let's go to the correlation regression. And I'm telling you, uh, now this is the Dow Jones price, and one is the Nifty price. Now, Nifty is the index of Indian stock market where 50 companies are included, which is also considered as the barometer of Indian economy when it comes to, development. Nifty is consisting of 50 companies of India, and Dow Jones is consisting of, I guess, if I'm not wrong, 30 companies are there in that of United States of America. There are certain calculations to calculate this. I'm not going into the technical aspects of it, but these are the stock market index. One is of India, another one is of the US. Now I'm just taking this data. It's not a finance. It's going to be entirely the statistics only, but I need to take some data, right? So that I can use those functions. Now what we are trying to say is that we want to predict the price of Nifty based on the movement we could see in the Dow Jones. Now this is the realistic data. It's not something which is fictitiously prepared. It's a realistic data taken from the internet, and I've arranged it for you. Now see, you can predict the data of Nifty based on the previous day's movement of Dow Jones. Now, if I give you the idea about at what time Dow Jones operates, no, Dow Jones starts at, I guess, 9 o'clock when we are there in the night. So, as per the Indian timing of 9 o'clock, Dow Jones opens, and I guess at 1:30 a.m. or 1:30 p.m. the Dow Jones closes. So that's why the previous day's effect of Dow Jones on the Nifty we are going to see. I am of the firm believer of the fact that since last 6 to 5 months, 5 years, there has been a you know there has been a some relationship between these two index. So in the morning, if I check, no, that what was the previous movement of the Dow Jones yesterday, then the similar kind of an up and down movements were followed by the Nifty too. Now see, this is something which I have just assumed. I'm not very much sure about it. I can be sure about it after doing some statistics. Now I am going through the two concepts. One is the correlation, another one is regression. Now let's understand it in the simplest manner. Correlation just tells you about the direction, that whether the both are moving in the same direction or not. If correlation is positive, that means both are moving together in the same direction. And if correlation is negative, that means if one is increasing, another one is decreasing. That's the meaning of correlation. Correlation coefficient varies from -1 to +1 as per Mr. Carl Pearson's model. So if it is -1, that means it's perfectly negative correlation. That means in every observation, if one is going up, another one is going down. And when it is 1, that means it's a perfect positive correlation. That means if one is going up, another one is also going up. Generally, it has been said that if the correlation is more than 75, no, 0.75, it is said that it is a strongly correlated. So it just tells you about the direction in which the two variables are going. Now this can be applied into various kind of data. Whether if you increase the marketing data, then whether there is an increase in the sales or not. Whether you increase the HR expense, whether the similar kind of an increase you are able to see in the sales or not. Whether the both are correlated with each other or not. What is the effect of HR or marketing expense on the profitability? Whether the both are moving in the same direction or not. That's the correlation. Now correlation does not give you the exact relationship between the two. It will not tell you that up to what extent the Nifty will move by any change in the Dow Jones. It will not give you the exact relationship. It will just tell you that whether the both are related positively or negatively. So it's the measurement of association. It does not give you, it fails to give you the exact relationship between the two. It cannot say that if I increase the Dow Jones by 1, then what by what amount the Nifty would be increased. It does not say that. Now, if we want to find the exact relationship between the two, then you can go to the regression. Right? So now correlation can be found by two ways. Correlation three ways, in fact. One is the Correl formula, which you can use over here. Say I want to find the correlation coefficient of both. In this, every one of you start doing it along with me. Say here I want the correlation between the two, and it's gonna be very easy as compared to the manual exercise you do. So see here I want it, correlation, I'm writing it. So equal to CORREL, that is the Correl function to find the correlation. And opening the bracket, and array 1. Array 1 is the first range of the data. You may select either of this first, that's perfectly fine. For correlation, the order does not matter. So I am selecting the first range of the data, which is the Dow Jones. Control Shift down arrow, comma. Then it asks me the array 2, right? So for that, I can go to again the Nifty, and right from the first to the last one, we may select it, closing the bracket, pressing enter. And you have got the correlation of 0.94, which is a very, very strong correlation. That's the strong correlation because if it is more than 0.75, it's considered to be a very strong correlation. That means in this uncertainty time of the corona, I have taken the data of previous 6 months. Whatever the movement which I could see yesterday in the Dow Jones, I could predict the movement here today in the Nifty. If not by the exact relationship, then at least I could say that in which direction the Nifty would go now based on the strong positive correlation I have found between the two. In very few circumstances, the both would have operated differently. Now see, this tells a lot about, predicting the market trend today. If I come to know that yesterday Dow Jones was down by 1%, there is a strong possibility that today there would be some effect on the Nifty too. There is a possibility. Strong correlation. Now we haven't found the exact relationship yet, huh? We haven't found the exact relationship yet. We cannot say that by 1 unit change in the Dow Jones, what is the 1 unit change in the Nifty? Dow Jones is the American stock market index. And America is, everyone aware about it, right? That's the giant. America still rules the world economy. There is absolutely no doubt about it. If the US is down, the entire world is down. If the US is up, entire world is up. Yes, the trend is slightly declining. The dominance of US in terms of economy has been reducing over a period of time due to the emergence of India and China in particularly. But still, it is the mandata. You cannot ignore US at all. So यूएस के अंदर कुछ चेंजेस आ रहे हैं तो निफ्टी के अंदर आने के पूरे चांसेस है. Now if we want to find the exact relationship, for that the regression can be done. Now correlation can be found by another way as well. Let's go to that way too. Now you can go to the data analysis, then you must be able to find the correlation from here, right? Press OK. Then you will have to select the input range of correlation. Now see, to do the correlation here, you require the input range of both of this data putting together. If your array is separated, these two arrays, then here there would be some problem in the selection. See, check it out. Because it asks you just a one time the input range. That means both of this must be together. So if I want to do this, what I can do, I'm canceling this off. let me take this closing prices of Nifty, Control C. Oh, you can select it by Control Shift down arrow first of all, then Control C, and here you can paste it, right? Control V. So now both are there in the same range. I mean, no other variable is coming in between. Now I can do it. Now let's go to the data again. Data analysis, correlation. Okay. Now input range. So selecting the range of both of this. So Dow Jones and Nifty, which I have pasted near to it. I'm selecting it entirely. Entire data, pressing enter. It is grouped by column, obviously, because it is a vertically given, not by row. Now it again asks us that whether we want the correlation in a different output or in the same worksheet. I would say let's create a different output worksheet for that. Pressing OK. And the different worksheet has been created. And you must find that the same correlation coefficient you must be able to see in the different worksheet. Very positive. That means the effect of Dow Jones yesterday in the US markets is pretty much there on the Nifty. Now, this is something which is proven by the data. We are not saying this. This is the realistic data. Is everyone clear till now? May I have a final confirmation? तो मैं regression में जा सकता हूँ अब. Okay. Now let's go to the regression. Regression tells you about the exact relationship. So first of all, the equation of regression looks like this. Let me find my pen. Okay, I've got it. Okay, everyone please concentrate. So see, you need to first identify that what you want to predict and by what you want to predict. What you want to predict? You want to predict the Nifty. So the variable which you want to predict, regression is used where you want to do some predictive analysis, where you want to see that what is the exact relationship between the two. If there is a 1% movement in Dow Jones, what will be the movement in the Nifty? That's what I want to identify, right? Now here the regression comes into the picture. Now this is something which is the variable for which I want to find the value. So that means it is the dependent one. Now it is dependent on which variable? Sir, it is dependent on the Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, we are assuming that it is moving in a random fashion, so that's the independent variable. That means it is not affected by anyone. It itself is creating the havoc in the market. So it's the independent variable. Or I may say that this is the predictor variable. I mean predicted variable, which is a Nifty, and through Dow Jones we want to predict this Nifty. So Nifty is my dependent one. Everyone please put it in the back of your mind. Once it is clear, then we can move to the regression line. The equation of the regression looks like this. You must have the idea about it. So if I want to predict the Nifty, the Nifty would be equal to intercept. Do not worry, this terms looks little bit complicated, but very easy to understand. Plus beta, or I may call it a slope, and the value of Dow Jones. So this is how the equation of regression would be looking like. Very simple. Now what is this intercept? Try to understand. Intercept is the value of Nifty when Dow Jones would be 0. Now obviously in no case the Dow Jones would be 0, but regression line is something where you need to take the intercept too. So the simple understanding, say if Dow Jones is 0, then here as well there would be some 0, because multiply कुछ भी करोगे 0 से तो 0 ही होगा, तो कुछ तो वैल्यू होगी निफ्टी की, तो इसलिए वो इंटरसेप्ट देता है हमें. Now intercept can be found by some statistical formula too, but I'm not going into that as of now. But the simple meaning and interpretation of this, which everyone should be able to understand, that it's the value of dependent variable when the independent variable is 0. So if independent variable is 0, at that time, what is the value of dependent variable? If I explain this through you through the chart, it would be looking like this. Say if the regression line starts from here, right? So here at this point, there is some intercept. That means even if the x-axis is 0 at that time, there is some value of y. There is some value of y even if there is a 0 of x-axis. So this is how the regression line looks like. Now we are right now thinking for the linear regression. There are various types of regression. Based on the regression, there are many things happening in the world right now. Machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, this everything is happening through the regression only. In-depth, statistical and mathematical analysis is involved there. Let's not go into that. So this is the graphical presentation. So that means if the value of x-axis is 0, then obviously the value of y is there somewhere. Something is there, even if the x is 0. So that's the intercept. This is the intercept point. From here, the regression starts. Right? Okay. Now, beta tells you about the sensitivity. That if there would be a 1 rupee change in the Dow Jones, then what will be the 1 unit change in the, what will be the units change in the Nifty? That's about the beta sensitivity. That's what we were doing in the capital asset pricing model as well, if you can recall it a bit. It can be also called as the slope. The finance people call it as a beta. Excel people call it as a slope. And statisticians call it as a regression coefficient. There are various names to it. आप माही कहो, धोनी कहो, सबको एक ही है. तो स्लोप भी कह सकते हो, बीटा भी कह सकते हो, और रिग्रेशन कोएफिशिएंट भी कह सकते हो. ये एक्सप्लेन में करना टाइम जाता है, उतना करने में नहीं जाता हूँ. करने में तो बहुत इजी है, बहुत मतलब बहुत इजी. चलो देखते हैं कैसे है. And if you multiply the value of Dow Jones, so you get the value of Nifty over there. Beta multiplied the value. मतलब मुझे ये देखना है कि भाई अगर Dow Jones 30,000 होगा, तो उस समय पे निफ्टी कितना होना चाहिए एज पर दिस मॉडल विच आई हैव प्रिपेयर्ड. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, Dow Jones की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 30,000 लिख दूंगा, और बीटा में फाइंड करूंगा, और इंटरसेप्ट मुझे रिग्रेशन वाला दे देगा. तो ये इक्वेशन को फाइंड करूंगा तो मुझे निफ्टी का प्रेडिक्टेड वैल्यू मिल जाएगा. Right? Everyone should start it along with me now. Now I'm again going to the data tab. From data, you can go to the data analysis again. From there, you can go to the regression. Then press OK. And y is the dependent variable which you want to predict. So which you want to predict in this case? May I have the answer of anyone? क्या प्रेडिक्ट करना है हमें? निफ्टी करना है, yes or no? Okay, so let's click over here and select all the values of Nifty. Control Shift down arrow. Pressing enter. Then y is the independent variable through which we want to predict the Nifty, right? So clicking over here and selecting the Dow Jones values now. Right from the first to the last one. Pressing enter. Now all other things, let's not go into that as of now, because for that you require the advanced knowledge of regression. Just keep it up to this. We will also go into that residuals and all, but after some time, right? Not right now. So press and OK. And you have got this kind of a table. Now some of you might be like, sir, how to interpret this? There are so many values. Oh my God. Let's not complicate it. This multiple R is nothing but the correlation. This is the correlation. R square is that you had drawn the regression line, like this. There would be this kind of regression line for this. So R square is that how many points are fitting into your model. What is the percentage of the Nifty are explained by the movements in the Dow Jones. So 89% of the variations in the Nifty is explained by the Dow Jones. So that is the number of points which are coming in this plot. If you are not able to understand that, that's perfectly fine. Do not worry. Adjusted R square comes into the picture when you have two or more variables. Let's not go into that as of now. Now, how you can find the regression equation from this? See, you have got the intercept. Check it out. So what was the formula I had given to you? Nifty equal to intercept plus beta in bracket Dow Jones, right? So if I want to say, for example, predict that at 28,000 of the Dow, let's take the example from this only. So the first value of Dow Jones is which one? Take it out. That first value of Dow Jones is 28,210, right? So I want to predict as per our model that 28,210 पे निफ्टी कितना होगा. So I am writing 28,018 as Dow Jones level. Beta is this coefficient 0.537212. How do you interpret the beta? Beta is the sensitivity that if there would be a 1 unit change in the Dow Jones, then there would be 0.53 units change in Nifty. That's the beta. If there would be a 1 unit change in the Dow Jones, there would be 0.53 units change in Dow Jones. Sorry, Nifty. As simple as that. So 0.5372 I am writing over there, plus intercept you have, which is in minus. So minus 3579.5. And if you do this, then what is the value of Nifty you get? Check it out. That would be the predicted value by this model. And if you select the residuals, you get the predicted values too. So at the level of thousands of this should be my Nifty level as per the model that I have observed over here. I hope you have got this equation well. We'll go into some advanced aspects of regression in the next lecture. That would be the end of statistical. These are the things which are required. You know, there could be n number of other hypothesis testing and so many other things as well. But for that, you must have the very strong base of research, which I feel you might not have right now. So that's why let's not go into that. Is it clear everyone till now? समझे हो सब कुछ? छोटा सा कंफर्मेशन दे दीजिए अभी तक का जो बताया वो मैंने, बाकी का बाद में देखते हैं. Okay, good. Let me share the attendance file with you. Nowadays, I've started taking too much of time in the attendance. Oh my God. Not just in attendance, in lectures, sorry. Some people would be thinking like, sir, यहाँ पे तो finance भी आता है, research भी आता है, statistics भी आता है, accounting भी आता है, finance सब कुछ आता है. पर अब क्या करें, अब एडवांस एक्सेल का काम ही ये है. Okay, you can go to the chat box and from there you may file your attendance. Once it is done, then you may disperse for the lecture. Bye bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy the rest of the day.